We've been talking a lot about the inside of the house, how it proceeds from the foundation through various stages to the interior trim. While that's happening, the entire outside of the house is being built and constructed. And that consists of a number of different phases. The first thing that happens on the outside of the house is the exterior trim. And that is details like the columns here, window trim, siding, things like that. There's also soffit and fascia, which is at the edge of the roof. And then there's some architectural details also that come into play. And they would be things like these brackets that go up against the roof. This is a feature of this house and typically a craftsman type detail. Once the boxing and siding is complete, the next step is to paint it. This seems like a simple step, but it's very important. It has to be properly applied. It has to be caulked and weatherproofed properly with the right materials in the joints. And sounds simple, but the right color of paint has to be applied to the exterior. This is often very difficult because buyers change their mind, or maybe a paint manufacturer color is a little bit different from something they selected. So getting the right kind of paint, the right color paint in the outside of the house is very important. Once the home is painted, the next step is for the masonry to be applied to the exterior. This is done so the painter doesn't get paint on the masonry. It may seem stupid, but it's important to get things in sequence when you're doing any kind of construction. So the mason lays the stone up on the framing, and he's got to lay it in the proper orderly level, thumb, nice joints. Of course, he's got to get the right color material and right stone, similar to the paint. It's very important to get that right. And then he ties all these elements together. He ties sills, the brick, or the stone, the surface of the porch stairs, and all the other brick and stone details in the house. Once the brick and stone is complete, we get into some relatively minor but nonetheless very important issues. We want to get our exterior lights set and make sure again that it's the right selection, right location, that they work. And then the garage doors. The garage doors are set right at the end of the build so they're not damaged. Site work. The first thing we do is to put in the concrete for the driveway, which we're standing on, and the walkway to the front of the house, and other patios and slabs around the house. The most important thing about this is getting the layout correct, getting the proper thickness of concrete so it's strong, and also to make sure the concrete slopes away from the house so no water sets on it. It's pretty simple, very important. The last step. We're almost done. After the driveway's poured, the sidewalks in, the next step is for the landscapers to come out, grade the yard. You can see this yard is all graded. And if you look over here, they're starting to prep this area where there's going to be some landscape beds, some planter beds. But really, the final step of this house is putting sod and grass down. And once that's done, it's watered in, the grade's good, there's no standing water anymore, we're done with the outside, the house is